shit.
Fluid everywhere. What happened?
Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to hopefully drive the Camaro. We just finished up, buttoned up everything a little bit off camera. We got the torque arm on. Drive shaft did not need to come off. It would have been very, very helpful. So if you guys are, you know, working on these, take the torque arm off, or take the drive shaft off. Don't install it first.
Don't install it.
Yeah, we have basically everything under the car all taken care of. Everything's all routed. I got an extra ground strap here. We got everything on the top side completely done. Everything on the bottom side completely done. We got the sway bar connected. I got new energy suspension polyurethane mounts because we were missing the actual bracket.
Yep.
And the only place that had it was actually O'Reilly's in shop. Everywhere online, it couldn't ship to me in time, and just finding the bracket itself was really hard. You just can't buy the bracket by itself, which is weird, unless you go on eBay or something.
Right.
And buy used.
Got the torque arm connected.
Yep.
Like he said, that was fun.
Oh, also I cleaned up the rear end. I power washed it, spray with brake clean. It's actually very clean under there now. That made it a lot nicer. I mean, my hands are still like black, but it would have been way worse.
Yeah, because the whole like underside of the car is not clean, you know, and that's where most of the grease is getting on our hands now. But you guys should have seen it. Like there was a huge, massive, just like spider's nest all on the rear end because we haven't been working on the rear end for I don't know how long. And so after he cleared that all out, that's all gone. You can actually touch the differential without getting the slime on your hands. That's awesome.
Yeah, I think I mentioned in another video, us getting this car up and running and cleaned up and stuff has literally killed like a whole ecosystem. Like there was stuff living in the wheel wells, under the car, like everywhere, spider eggs.
Like this was in the hatch. This was like everywhere in the car, and then we've killed it all. Good, good, it's mine.
Yeah, but I mean everything's all ready to go, tied up out of the way. We're just waiting on tune from Garner right now.
Yep.
And we'll just load that up with HP and we'll get started at, you know, tuning it basically. We got Tristan bought a new wideband because the wideband gauge that we had was completely
the exact
dead.
Same replacement.
Yeah.
Like this is the exact same model.
So I guess we can get that wired up and ready to go.
Yep.
Very quickly.
So that was unfortunate. That was like $200 that I didn't think we were gonna have to spend, but
yeah,
we need it, so it's whatever.
New gauge,
got
new wiring.
Sensors, so we're gonna throw that in there too, probably over the old one.
Yep.
But we're gonna see if this works. I'm curious if it works on the old
it should.
old wiring.
Should be the same.
Yeah,
I mean, I can grab it. I had it lying around here somewhere. Don't know where it is right now, but it should be the same pinout and everything. We can double check. Also this, we can double check that the sensor pinout's the same.
Right.
But yeah, we should power it up. We should get it just mounted in there and get kind of maybe the interior ready for us to take on a drive.
Yep, and that should be quick. And then hopefully we have the tune around then, and then we can actually start the car, guys. Like that'll be exciting. Like legit start the car.
Oh yeah. Also, I got a exhaust hanger on the downpipe because it was banging everywhere and stuff when we were test starting it and everything. So it does now have exhaust hanger. Yeah, everything. It's just damn. Everything's all ready. Like we put the torque arm on, and I just sat back. I'm like, damn, that was it. That was like the last thing.
Also, guys.
Oh yes, I cut a hole.
He cut a hole, but it wasn't enough.
Yeah, barely.
If you see, it actually.
Let's see.
Oh fuck! It cracked the hood. Oh,
yeah,
maybe
well,
that's the paint.
It is the paint that it cracked. It's very, very. You're not gonna be able to see it on GoPro, but
so
believe us, there's a little dent, a little tiny baby dent. Oh wait, maybe that angle show us.
Like this angle that I'm seeing right now with the light. Here, let me see the camera.
Yeah.
So, it's like.
Yeah.
Not sure if you guys can see that, but yeah, it doesn't look like a dent from here. And then yeah, it's hitting on this, and that's basically nothing we can do about that.
We put paint on there to transfer to see where it was hitting, and it's for sure hitting just at the top of the turbo. So
we're thinking about possibly clocking it just a little bit, but that will fuck this up, so that will have to be remade.
Well, not necessarily remade, but
at least modified, possibly, depending on how far it goes.
Yeah.
But I don't know. This sucks, because, like, this hood was never supposed to be permanent, but, like, I didn't think it would dent it.
Yep.
And now it did, but oh well. So I'm just going to have to live with that.
Yeah. We're also talking about the air-to-water heat exchanger, because obviously we haven't piped up the intercooler yet. We just need to purchase it. I took dimensions of what's going to fit in here, and I found a really big single pass. It's actually 480 cubic inches of volume for the core, which is pretty decent for a heat exchanger. So we're going to mount it in here. It's going to be a good thing we have the tubular bash bar because it's going to sit and live right in there. basically here to here.
It's gonna basically sit on top of this guy right here.
Yep. And we'll pipe the 3/4 inch, which we wanted to go full inch.
We did.
But just to start, we have everything. I already had these expensive fittings and the 3/4 inch heater hose. And he also has your Bosch pump.
Yep,
So that's all free. But down the road, we can upgrade to inch. I can literally get a hole saw, cut out these fittings, weld in inch fittings or even bigger. And then also the heat exchanger that we have, also aluminum. I'll just hole saw those out, put new fittings on, and then we can convert everything to full inch or bigger.
See, when you said that the first time, I was like thinking like, fuck that. But after seeing what you did with the radiator, we can do that.
It's easy.
We can do that.
I wonder how heavy it's gonna be with all that water.
Oh man, I guarantee it's
already
gonna
heavy.
be like, it already is heavy. I bet it's gonna be like 35 pounds with water, maybe heavier. So
let's go ahead and get the wideband in. We'll swap out the sensor, and we'll maybe use the old wiring because I already have the old wiring in there. I don't want to have to reroute it again.
yeah, let's just try if it see if it works.
And
so
then we'll get it hooked up HP. We'll get the serial connection set up and wait on Garner for that tune.
All right, we'll be back, guys.
All right, guys. So we just got the wideband just loosely in there. Well, the gauge, not the. We actually tightened down the wideband sensor. We have it all ready to go here. Just literally got it, you know, wired, power, ground. And if you turn the key on here, oops. Oh Jesus, key all tangled up. As you can see, turns on, goes into the heating mode, and that's all ready to go basically. God, I hate the dinging in this thing. I have to check what the others do, but I know like the brown and blue and green, I think, those are used for HP tuners, or at least the serial connection. I'll grab the serial connection, look up a diagram, wire that up, so we can wire it into HP tuners and we can get that. Still waiting on Garner to get us the tunes, so we might go get lunch while we wait. We're getting it back on the floor here. Probably air up the tires too. Oh, yeah. I also did notice there's a big nail in that tire.
Oh,
that's probably why it's leaking always.
Yeah, that's why it's always that.
I mean, I actually could patch it. I have patch tool.
Yeah, we probably, well, let's get it down the road and yeah, let's patch that shit.
Yeah.
And then hopefully new tires eventually.
Yeah.
Well, not eventually, like
it needs
within.
them ASAP.
This whole fucking car really needs some money. It's actually kind of, it's been a bitch because I think the front end is kind of coming back. But
that's fine.
I think that might be enough to get these.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Grab that one, lower them down.
Cool.
All right. But guys, we're getting very close. I'll finish wiring up the wideband. I might even just tidy it up since we're waiting a little bit longer for the tune. Just get everything zip tied up and out of the way, so it's not, you know, interfering with our feet or the shifter. And yeah, I'm just so ready to get this thing started and like running. I'm sure you are too.
Yeah.
Like, holy crap. Finally, after all this time. So we'll get air in the tires, we'll, you know, tidy that stuff up, and we'll be back probably once we're ready to start it up. All right, guys, so we have the tune finally, and we got HP set up. I'm gonna start loading the tune here.
Yeah.
And we'll see what happens. We'll see if I can even figure out how to do this. I've never used HP, only Vince and Tristan have. Ugh. All right, guys, we're finally back. Basically, there was some issues with us not having Vince's account info for HP tuner, so we could not buy the credit. Vince is here now, and he's getting it set up for us because he knows more about HP tuners than we do.
Yep,
and
he's updating the firmware.
Oh, nice. I did also get the wideband wired up so HP tuners can data log with it. We're not going to start with that just yet, but we're going to go ahead and get the tune on here and then start it up. All right, guys, so the tune is flashed on here. Vince is getting it on there, and whenever you're ready, go ahead and start her up.
Yeah, I'm connecting to it so I can kind of scan for it.
We're actually going to wait till the noisy mail truck's gone.
Damn, he's got an exhaust
Yeah,
on
he
there.
does. He probably chopped that shit off, or his cat got stolen.
Okay, whenever you're ready.
Ready?
Yep.
That was eventful.
That sounded pretty good.
Yeah, I did. takes so much.
Bro, it needs that shorter belt.
Huh?
I have to give it fuel to keep it running.
Oh yeah.
That's not
Should I
good.
set the idle higher? There's an idle screw. I can open up the body more.
Let me see what he's got it set to in the tune.
Bro, that belt floppy as hell.
Yeah, I bought a shorter belt, so we'll have that tomorrow actually.
That's nice.
Yeah. It fired, Dad.
Let's see it run. I want it out of the driveway, kids.
He's having he's having to hold the throttle to get it to stay on. So that's
We might just need to open the blade a bit more.
yeah.
But it was running.
But it sounded
The
so
whole
good.
kit. Well, the whole.
It's so loud.
It is loud.
It's
It
loud.
it needs muffler like real bad.
We can hear it like loud inside.
It's quiet on the other side. Over here, it's super
I
loud.
wonder why that is.
What's up?
The fucking the bolt for the wastegate's coming off as we speak.
Hot. That's fine. We'll just tighten that. That's fine. That's not a problem.
And then also like if given
Hell yeah,
if
guys, it's
given
running.
enough like given enough revs, I think that belt might even take
Touch
out that coolant
the
sensor.
coolant sensor. Yeah, I was looking at that.
Yeah, there we go.
So I don't know if you guys actually reconnected the dash, but if you did, it don't reach shit.
Yeah.
That's what I was afraid of.
Yeah, that's fine.
There's multiple
It's
things.
kind of annoying because I don't have RPM to gauge what the idle is at, so it's hard for me to tell if I
Can't
Wait,
HP
why
tow?
doesn't HP no?
because HP dies. The car dies before I can get a second, or in this case, you told me to turn it off. Before I
Yeah,
got a chance
well,
to record.
I think now I think it should be fine to sit at idling.
Yeah. All right. Well.
All right.
All right.
All right.
How much the turbo kit? That's loud. That's loud.
That shit loud.
What?
It sounds like maybe misfiring.
It smells so bad.
Yeah, a little
What
bit.
the hell is that?
Well, there's a lot of shit burning off the headers.
Yeah,
right
the
now.
headers had a lot of oil and coolant on them.
A lot of
I'm like,
fingerprints. And
Yeah.
then also it's smoking out the
exhaust
tailpipe.
pipe.
So
It's just burning off what's inside too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like,
I felt around all the joints I welded, and I didn't feel any exhaust leaks.
that's
because
good.
I mean, how
That's
long
good.
has it been since the actual engine was open? Too?
3? No, just open like maybe 6 months to a year.
Yeah.
So it's probably just burning off like
Well,
if
yeah.
there was like
We
rust
did
still
oil
sitting
the
on it,
walls,
and
so-
like excess oil too.
yeah, like I knew that. I was just saying, like, it's just a lot all.
Yeah.
And also it's
That's what
fucking
I was-
loud as
Also-
shit.
It's
Yep.
so
Like that's gonna be
loud.
so
Also, did
loud.
you guys throw in new gas?
Yeah.
Yeah.
10 gallons of new.
So it's
Okay.
mostly new gas.
Isn't that what you and Bennett got? last
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
weekend?
twice.
Twice?
Twice. We had to go get it twice. Because 5 gallons is not enough.
So how's it looking, Captain?
That was
Well,
fun.
Misfiring?
It doesn't have cylinder air mass, I don't think.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Uh huh. What was the wideband looking like?
We're pretty
I
rich
it's
just 'cause it's at the not moment, which is
Oh,
good. That means Gardner Chief
Safer.
That's it. Rich. Let me see.
Up there, it looks like it's shaking. I wonder if it's misfiring somewhere.
Hopefully all those spark plugs are getting ignition.
Yeah. So the one thing I was concerned about was the spark plugs because I made them right.
Right.
And it's very vague if it's like completely.
I'm proud of you guys.
Yep. Well, this is awesome. It's the longest it's ever ran in like 3 years or 2
True.
years. So, hell yeah. Well, Vince is looking at some stuff.
Did you log anything or no?
Yeah, I logged a little.
Okay.
Cool. We'll send that off to Garner. and
Yeah, I was
hopefully he
afraid
can
of the
get us-
dash not working.
Yeah, we'll have to take it out and make sure that the harness connector in the back of it was just like not completely straight, so I don't think it's really touching everything.
Yeah, that and like there's a few things under there that aren't plugged in.
I don't think so. I think everything's plugged in.
There's a few things.
I checked under there, it's not.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm actually really happy that I didn't feel any exhaust leaks. I put my hands right where there might be ones, and there wasn't. Like,
I'm not surprised
awesome.
it was that loud.
Any leaks under here?
Turn my muffler.
Also, the power steering wasn't leaking. There's no other leaks under there I can see.
That's terrific.
Aaron says take it home and burn it.
That's sad.
Because he knows how long it's fucking been here.
Yes.
Too.
But yeah, the whole kit with the motor vibrating, it was really like, the whole kit moves a lot. How does it feel?
Just a little warm, but
Yeah.
I mean, it's had 2 startups without probably getting over like 2,500 RPM. So it's not really taking in any air. Or too much air.
Oh yes. All right guys, so we're gonna continue looking into this. We're going to probably give another startup here. Well, we're gonna send the data log off to Garner, and hopefully we can get a revision pretty quickly. I mean, even Vince can look at it and maybe revise something if, you know, he wants to. But yeah, start it up, finally. Hopefully we can get it moving today. That'd be really cool. But we need to do a little bit more tuning, figure out, you know, some things about it. All right guys, so we messed with the idle screw and we got it to idle about 900 RPM. So that's kind of, you know, appropriate for what we're looking for. Garner's asking us that we see if it can go around the block or just drive down the street. So Vince is gonna go ahead and start driving it. And we'll see what happens here, see if it's actually able to do that. Close the hood here. But I mean, when it was idling, it was running fine. It did eventually kill itself. So, but if Vince is giving it gas, I think it'll be better at keeping itself alive. Let me, I'm just gonna not close it all the way. I think it's gonna be hitting the hood and stuff with how much rattling it was doing. I was getting the back out to test the back, but we'll do that once he's back.
keep the driveways as possible.
What? Oh, you're telling him not to go so far.
I'm telling him if he knows it's not going to make it up the street,
Yeah.
don't get it out of the driveway.
Yeah.
Or at least get as close to it. Black smoke now.
It's just always black. It's very rich.
In fact, I gotta ask him. Hey, I forgot to ask, is the AFR actually logging?
Yes.
Oh, good, okay.
Since you got the same one as me, it's already preset to my
Cool.
definitions.
Yeah, that's a good.
So now it's not wanting to stay started.
Yeah.
Should we just crack the idle screw a little bit?
I can start it and give it a little gas and see if it'll idle after I give it some fuel.
Yeah, try that.
All right.
Sounds pretty good.
That's not pretty good. It's probably like 2,000 RPM. Oh, that was by itself. That was by itself?
Started jumping. Yeah.
It's trying to run away.
Weird. You think that's a fueling thing?
So I've seen diesel trucks do that where they'll just continually fucking rev up.
Diesel runoffs are
Pull it up hard.
Huh?
Pull that up hard. There you go.
All right.
Yeah. So we might want to get an adjusted tune from Garner. Did we send off that log?
Not yet.
Okay, let's send off the log, the good one from idling. Just be like, you should tell Garner it did not make it out of the driveway. It'll try killing itself. Also, it runs off. Like, RPM just spike on their own. Like, they start going up to about 2,000 on their own. All right, guys, we're going to figure this out, and we'll be back. Maybe we set the idle screw down. Yep. 160. Good. Temps 160.
Okay, that's
It's not even, it's all the way shut.
Try the other way?
That'll open the throttle body more.
So it's gotta be a tune thing.
Yeah. The idle set screw is all the way shut and it's idling at $2,000.
terrific.
That sounds like maybe a
Race
like
car.
a back leak or something maybe. What's the back?
What? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7  8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 20 21 22 23 24 25 26 27 28 29 30 31 32 33 34 35 36 37 38 39 40 41 42 43 44 45 46 47 48 49 50 51 52 53 54 55 56 57 58 59 60 61 62 63 64 65 66 67 68 69 70 71 72 73 74 75 76 77 78 79 80 81 82 83 84 85 86 87 88 89 90 91 92 93 94 95 96 97 98 99 100 101 102 103 104 105 106 107 108 109 110 111 112 113 114 115 116 117 118 119 120 121 122 123 124 125 126 127 128 129 130 131 132 133 134 135 136 137 138 139 140 141 142 143 144 145 146 147 148 149 150 151 152 153 154 155 156 157
that or it's gonna jump forward. Vince, I think you should stand in front of the car.
No.
Why?
No.
Stand behind the car?
No.
Alright. You're no fun.
There's a reason why I moved away from where the exhaust was.
It doesn't seem like it did anything.
Look, really?
Yeah. Oh, e-brakes on. I don't know if I want to try that. I don't want it to jump at 2 grand.
Well, if we have no brakes, that would not be a good thing.
Yeah. And I
Does-
don't feel any brakes.
The fuck? We bled those fuckers. Oh. What RPM is it at?
2 grand.
Oh, that's fine. It felt like it was going higher.
No,
Wait,
you
what
have
the
brakes.
hell?
Yeah, you pump the brakes, we're getting more RPM. That's weird.
Because it's tied to the brake booster.
Yep.
So it gives it more back or less back or something. I don't know.
Something's going on
Watch
with
the
that.
back gauge.
It's going up.
It changes by like a few PSI of that thing. Oh, what the? Hey, cut it off! Stop! Oh,
We got
shit.
fluid everywhere.
What happened?
It must have blew the hose.
Yeah, coolant. It probably blew the bottom hose.
By the way, the fans weren't running.
Oh, well, we probably need to set them.
Oh yeah, it just blew the hose
it
right
blew
off.
it
Yep. What I'm not sure of is like why wasn't the fans going on?
All right, guys, we're back. I don't exactly remember the last thing we showed you. We just had a whole ordeal here, and this was still, surprisingly, the top end was still serviceable. We just had to make some modifications. So the coil bracket here, it was originally vertical. Now it is like this, diagonal or whatever the fuck.
Just had to put a 45-degree in her.
Yeah, so
No big deal.
it's now plug in. Yeah,
Yeah, you trying to get it back.
it's
on
hard
there.
to do with one hand.
And now
but-
there's plugs in the way.
Yeah, but it basically is going to sit like this vertical. I mean, it's actually easier access when you're going to reach the top of the coils
Much
now.
easier. In fact, we had to do it.
Yeah, we did. And yeah, as you can see as a result, we have no fuel injectors in here anymore. So Garner was suspecting that there is some kind of issue with the flow rate.
Yep.
They're just unequal or something. So we're going to get them flow tested. Tristan told me that when he originally bought them years ago, he bought them from someone who's running on E85.
Possibly, yeah.
Possibly. And who knows the history of them.
Yep.
They've been sitting for years. We really should have just cleaned them before we put them in here.
Yep.
Because what we're suspecting is at least the back two, so that's 4 and 6 cylinder. So there's 2, 4, and 6. 4 and 6 either weren't firing or clogged. We checked the spark, and it is getting spark. These spark plugs wires are still sus because I did make them myself, and I'm not like getting an affirmative like click in. It's obviously sparking,
Yeah,
because it's running, but maybe not all of them are very, connected very well. So I don't
Davis
know.
is worried that the crimp on the plug wire is just not that good, so it's like it's kind of pulling out.
Yeah, I mean, you think of the spark plug, it has the
does have
the
like
tip
an
at the end.
audible click
It's
too.
supposed to pop in. So
Pop
I'm
in,
not
yeah.
feeling the pop.
Yep.
I can feel it touching, and I can feel the metal on metal contact.
And then we checked number 4 if it was actually sparking, and it was.
Yes.
But we didn't check number 6, which also is a problem child.
I'm assuming it's sparking. It's just the connection at there. Once we plug it back in, it's not making a good connection. Because when we're testing it, we know for sure it's connected.
So it's like an intermittent issue.
Not intermittent, just it's not connected at the bottom when we put it back in.
Also,
Because it's a hard angle to work with. We can't
right.
do it as
Also,
well as
radiator
possible.
doesn't have a hose on it right now.
Oh yeah, we showed in we kind of turned out that's where we left off. Right at the end, it spewed all its coolant because the radiator hose blew off. There it is.
Yeah, it's just not good enough of a hose clamp on
Yeah.
there. There was a bead on there, right?
Yeah, I mean it's literally a barb fitting. I did have to sand it with a grinder to make it fit because it still wasn't the right size. I thought this was 1.5 inches, but it's actually not. It's like between 1.25 inches and 1.5 inches. So it's really dumb. I bought T-bolt clamps, so to replace these shitty hose clamps, even this one, you can see it's kind of failing. So T-bolt clamps that'll hold these on much harder because it only popped off once it got up to 180 degrees. And then Tristan was mentioning the fans had not turned on at 180, but I think that's just in the tuning. We need to set it so it goes on earlier. Hits on earlier.
You won't be able to tell right now, but our power steering pump, brand new, is leaking.
Yeah, the hard line is leaking.
And we can't do anything about that besides maybe
No, replace it. Well, I guess, yeah.
clean it off and then maybe
RTE.
siliconing it.
Silicone. Or no, not even that. My brain's dead. Fucking JB Weld.
Oh, you were thinking JB Weld? That
Yep.
could work too.
Yep.
Because it worked on transmission fluid.
Yeah, you know that the hard way. The oil filter adapter, this guy right in there, that is also leaking at the bottom through one of the screws. And then there's also possible random leaks at the oil pan. We'll just have to check.
Also, oil pressure sensor
Does not work.
working.
Yeah,
So
we
we're
know there's
changing
oil
that.
pressure. We took off the feed here, and it filled like a whole cup of oil in like a second.
Yeah, he turned it off in literally a second.
Yeah, so
was
we know
kinda scary.
we know it's getting fuel, or we know it's getting oil pressure. We did see fuel in the oil and can smell it. So
We saw spark in that one plug we checked.
yeah,
Just don't know if that's, constant spark or not.
no, the spark's fine. I'm just saying the connector between the plug electronic, and the electrode on the spark plug,
Yeah.
they're not popping in. I think it's barely touching,
Right.
or it's not popped in all the way.
Yeah, and that is creating an intermittent problem.
Well, it'd be a yes or no thing. Like it's working or it's not intermittent.
Well, as much as this engine vibrates, I wouldn't be
think-
surprised if it
yeah.
was like vibrating to where it was on and off.
Possibly.
But I think we might just replace these plugs with new ones, like we talked about it. We haven't like for sure made that plan
I
yet.
also
but
think-
we're talking about it.
We should not route them on the back of the motor. I think we should route them over the front, like the top. I think
Because
that
there's just no freaking
no room to get to them, and it'll be making servicing them easier. I wanted to keep the top clean because it looks cooler.
Right.
But
But we're just more interested now in ease of working on car
Yeah.
than we are of looks.
yep,
And then when the car was running, I'm not sure if we showed it or not. The wastegate was bouncing pretty, like just the whole thing.
there's
was
nothing we can
bouncing.
do about that, other than adding more reinforcement. But we're not
And I
doing
think
that
that's
right
that's a down the road kind of thing.
now. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be that bad, especially once we fix the misfire. It's not going to be bouncing as much.
I wish I had looked at it when it was like idling at 2,000 RPMs because
Yeah.
it was smooth. It was like actually the car was really smooth when it was running like that. And I just wonder what the
Yeah.
turbo kit was doing because I was in the car the whole time.
Yep.
But also, what's annoying is like the turbo and the exhaust cools down really quick. The freaking
The intake's
intake
so hot.
so hot.
Like
it was
I'm
burning
sure if I
us.
touch it, it's still going to be too. Yeah, I would not comfortably touch that.
Like this freaking turbo and alternator, which I know the alternator is always like toasty.
Yeah.
No, they're way cooler, and so this thing was burning us the whole time. It was very uncomfortable.
Yep.
Getting these injectors in and out has like made me just want fuel logs and never have to deal with the up and over system.
Yep.
Like this ever again on this car.
With it, we could just have some AN lines that just very tightly go over.
Yeah, and then that would have been like a 5-minute job, not a ordeal
Yeah.
of removing them.
I mean, all in all, we've only been working on this like an hour, so maybe not even that long. It's really just us bitching. It could have been worse. Like if we were
It
working on the
could have been
Trans Am,
worse.
I think pulling off stuff I'd be more in pain of doing.
yeah, and then also like we thought we were gonna have to lower the subframe just to get those injectors off.
Yeah,
Well, we
good thing
didn't,
there was
so-
enough flex. We could pop it up. Like still not good. You shouldn't be pulling on it and flexing it, but we had to.
We had to, yeah.
Yep. So we're gonna get those injectors cleaned. I got T-bolt clamps for the coolant hose. Garner has the Vatalog, so he's going to get us a revision. I have HP tuner set up on my laptop, so I'll be able to, apply the tune. We don't need to have vents here to work the laptop. Oh man! And also, I don't know if we got on camera, but when the car's running, the brakes are non-existent. So if
That's a significant problem.
if you guys know what's going on, I think it just has to do with the big cam and the brake booster, the vac, or maybe just running badly. There's barely any vac on the system. So if it's running badly, jumping up and down and the vacuum isn't consistent, maybe the brakes won't be consistent.
So what was happening, and I checked the brake booster line on the very back of the intake, and it was tight on there. Like I could feel no air leaks or anything.
Yeah.
And so what's happening is
Well, we already confirmed the vacuum's fine. Like we're checking this,
we
but
did
it's
confirm that. And the car, the way it idles, it's just obviously not good. And then you push the pedal of the brake pedal, and it's just like nothing, no resistance. And then if you're pushing it over and over, it's actually changing the idle of the engine, so
Yeah.
it'll jump up a couple hundred RPM and then go back down, and then it was and then it raised the vacuum up a couple degrees or psi, probably because the additional RPM maybe.
yeah.
I'm guessing, but I don't know what that was about because that's not usual.
Yeah. Also, still the set screw, right now it's not even touching. Like it's straight up at a full lock, and it was running at 2 grand RPM.
Yep.
Randomly. I don't know why that was doing that. It's very weird.
Very weird.
So possibly tune related. There's a lot of possibilities.
I think we have a lot of fuel. Like I think we have a lot. Like for the cylinders that are working, I think we have a lot of fuel.
Yeah.
Because we pulled out we pulled out 2 spark plugs. One was just okay. One was absolutely black, like blacker than black.
That was the hottest cylinder. It was number 1 right here. This
which is
cylinder
also the one getting
hot.
like hotter than all the others. And
Yeah.
you would think if it's getting the most fuel, it wouldn't.
Yep. So we have a lot to go over with this. We thought we'd be driving it. That's fine. You know, that we didn't. We have to, you know, learn these things and, you know, overcome them. But we assessed all the problems we had. We have a game plan for fixing it. I did try putting in gear, but forgot I had the e-brake on, so the car didn't move. We thought like, oh, the clutch, something's wrong, but the e-brake was on. Looking at the positive, guys. Look how nice the exhaust is coloring. I mean, you see the rainbow there. It's turning gold. Very cool. I actually really like that.
Do you have a flashlight?
Yeah, the flashlight's there. Wideband worked perfectly. All the other electronics worked perfectly. I mean, I guess the gauges didn't, but...
And all of these, I mean, they visually look alright.
Yeah, we should have
This one looks kind of, like, not great. But yeah, like, I mean, what can we really tell by looking at it? So a professional is going to have to clean them and flow match them. See what it does, but who knows?
That'll give us some confirmation at least, like, oh, these were good, or oh, they were totally bad.
Now, if these had E85 ran through them and they weren't clean and just let sat, like, I guarantee that's what the issue is.
They would be totally gunked.
And that's not something I really knew about when buying these, so I didn't really think about that. But like, yeah, I can't tell anything from looking at them.
I mean, gas is a good cleaner too. It did have gas running through them, so I don't know. We'll see what goes on with them.
Right. But yeah, that's all the progress we're making today, guys.
Yeah, and the coolant hose popped off, so we can't exactly keep running it. I mean, we could run it without coolant, but that's fine. But now we have a game plan. I might investigate new boots or new wires for these, so we just make new ones. It might just be for the best, because I reasonably cannot trust it myself. Like, just something about it. Like, I don't feel the normal affirmative click when you plug in the spark plug wire. We know they spark when they are touching, but the only way we've tested it is outside the car, putting the spark plug up against this to ground and watching it. Who knows what it is, you know, what kind of connections make when I plug it back in down there, because there's not a lot of room for my hand to, you know, securely do it. It's just a question mark. And these plugs or the plug boots and everything, they're meant for like LS and stuff. Should be the same spark plugs, but I don't know if like maybe the distance is off and it's not like going in all the way. Maybe we just need, well, maybe we need to cut off some of the boot ends. Maybe it'll sit on a bit closer. I have no idea. It's just a question mark. We have question marks right now. We got to figure out.
Yep, we got a lot to figure out right now. And here we were thinking that he was gonna drive.
I mean, we weren't far off from driving, really. Like, if we didn't have these issues with like if we had cleaned the injectors and then, you know, gotten just better spark plug boots, I don't see why we'd have any problems other than just, you know, wait on Garner for the tune.
Right. And yeah, like it could have. But our luck is not so good.
Yeah.
Also, it's a first start on an engine. Like, honestly, a lot of people have issues with starting an engine for the first time. So this is nothing new.
Yep. Well, guys, didn't drive it today, but it ran and idled a lot. You got to hear it a lot. The cam sounds awesome. I'm excited to actually get it running. You know, it's good that we're figuring out these problems right now, and we can just quickly get it fixed.
Yeah.
We'll have a good turnover for it. Got a new belt coming tomorrow. We'll have clamps on Monday. Monday he'll drop off the injectors to get cleaned, and hopefully that will fix everything. But that's gonna do it for this video. If you liked the video, definitely leave a like. If you're, you know, interested in following along with the channel, join us as a member down below. There's a lot of perks that you can get joining the channel as a member, so definitely do that. Leave a like, subscribe, comment down below, and we'll see you next time. We'll get this thing on the road finally.